Hi class, we are moving on to section 5, our new module, and that's going to talk about how we learn how to add text and dimensioning and format our drawing for plotting. So we have the basics of the drawing completed from our past exercises. Just to remind you, we have a concrete walkway through here with some stepping pads, a shrub hedge coming along this way, seat wall with a water feature. Have some additional flowering shrubs on this area, some flowering perennials, a deciduous tree, and a colorful flowering ground cover and a slope control ground cover. So those are the basic elements of our landscape, and what we need to do from here is add some text that's going to be helpful to constructing this drawing in the field. So this is where we will be going with that. We'll identify the planting material. We will identify some of the hardscape materials, and then we'll give it some dimensions and add some notes onto the drawing. First thing to do is to create a new layer that will have all of your text information on it. So we're creating one called dtext. I've given it 0.15 millimeter line weight. It's a continuous line. Also creating a secondary one called dims. That's white, continuous, 0.15 millimeters as well. Let's keep text as our layer for now, and close. So to create text, you first want to start with a style. We're in the text area. We have our multi-line text button. Next to it is a quick dimensioning tool, a linear dimensioning tool with some additional options underneath it, and a leader style. So these are leaders right here. Under the annotation tool, you have an opportunity to select your text style, select your dimension style, select your multi-leader style, and table style, which we're not using at this point but may use in the future. In order to use basic text as well as dimensioning text and leader text, you need to set each of these individually. So let's start with our text style. To get the text style, you click on the button I just showed you, and you want to create a style. So I have two here, but the way you do that is click on the button New and give your style a name. And in this case, we'll do OH 200 and hit OK. When you have this highlighted, you want to go down the font styles and select Stylus BT. Now, in other cases, you're welcome to choose different styles. You'll see them preview over here. In our case, we're going to use Stylus, not super French, Stylus BT. But if you enjoy playing with fonts, you can create a lot of different styles with different fonts. We're going to create annotative scale, which is something that I haven't used in the past, but I do like using it. It automatically calculates the height of the text that you're going to need to use in model space when you're creating text. So that way you can just sit back and create your text, and it will give you the height that it needs, so it will print in paper space to the scale you want. So that's a little ahead of what we're talking about, but that's what we're going to go with for now. So I've created one style that is our Stylus BT and named OH201 or 200-1, And I've created a second one that is OH200-2, and that one is an Arial style. And I want it to have 1/4 of an inch height in paper space. So the first one will have about an 8-inch height in paper space, and you can type that in if you like. And the second one will have a 1/4 of an inch height in paper space. So that means you have some hierarchy. You have a little bit smaller text and a little bit larger text. Once you have those figured out, choose the one that you'd like to be current, which will go with the OH200-1, and hit close. To place text, we have a couple of different commands. We can use the text command, and under the text command we have two different choices. We have multi-line text and we have single-line text. Single-line text is the easier, and it's very simple. Just click on the screen. Our rotation angle of text, you can give it a rotation angle if you like, using your polar snaps or typing in a number. Typically, it's just going to be no angle. So click on the second point, which gives you a straight line in the horizontal direction. And from there, you can just begin typing dtext. You can type anything you want in there. Typically, we use all uppercase when we're doing architectural drawings. If you want to do a second line of text, hit Enter, and dtext, second line. And when you're done, hit Enter twice, and that completes your command. Now, if you look at these pieces of text, they're individual, and you can pick them up and move them around and scale them individually, put them in different places. You can double click on them, which allows you to edit them. Double clicking on it allows you to edit. And hit Enter, that puts it into place. Some other features of the dtext command that are really helpful are to start the dtext command, single line text, and you have an opportunity to change the styles, which we're happy with because we already started with the style we like, but you can change the justification. And so this is really helpful if you want to maybe put your text inside a bubble, if it needs to fit inside a certain amount of space. So let's say that we are going to fit the text. And we'd like it to fit between, maybe in this sidewalk here. And we can get that to fit inside the sidewalk area, and the text style will shrink to fit in that space. That's kind of helpful. It's probably a little too tight for that area. We can also do it at an angle. So dtext, and our second point can be in a vertical direction. And the sidewalk is pulled across the sidewalk area, which gives it a little bit more information. So we can also do dtext, and there's our second point. Oops. I want to show you this first. So dtext, and instead of going to first point, let's select our justification, and let's say that we want that to be in the middle. So here's our middle point of text, and our rotation angle. Give it a rotation angle, and then we'll do text at an angle. And if you look at this text, there's a center point to it, and that shows you what the center point of that object is. You can pick it up and move it. It could be based on some sort of object also. So that is our single line text. There's lots of different ways to use it. If you type in DT, you can look at the justification and you will see all of these different options for you. Align, right, center, left, fit, top left, top center, top right, middle left, middle center, middle right, bottom left, bottom center, bottom right. This gives you the opportunity to also do your text at an angle. I'm going to pause and we'll move on to the next video, which is multi-line text.